Welcome back to another Dauntless video with your boy TJ. Today we're going to go over some of the questions and answers in last week's AMA. I know this video took a while to come out, that's mainly because of my work schedule, but I'm trying to set up my schedule so I'll be able to upload when I'm busy. So, alright, schedule aside, let's jump into the questions. You guys asked in the AMA. Starting off with a few PS4 questions, this question is by Big Boy Radic. He says, PS4 Slayer here. Love the game so far. Do you plan on adding a lock-on feature? Crash 7800, aka the associate producer at Phoenix Labs, Ian Torney, replied, "We're open to considering it. You can snap your camera to a behemoth, but we also know that in later hunts, you'll want the ability to track multiple objects. So for all you console players out there, if you want a lock-on feature for Dauntless, speak up and let the devs know. Personally, I think it may help out with targeting and assist in fights on console, so you don't have to snap your camera back and forth, especially when you're fighting a fast and speedy behemoth like Emberman. Now let's move on to the next comment by It's James for the win. It's James for the win commented, "Hey guys, PS4 player here. So far, really liking the game. I noticed my compass cuts off on my TV. It's a HD widescreen television. I have played around with all my console settings. Is there any chance of getting some form of save zone for consoles? I have had a few friends with the same complaint. My television isn't that old." Phoenix Kraken, the UX director Isaac F. answered, "It's an overscan issue. We actually have a fix coming, but in the meantime, you can just change your TV to not overscan. But each television calls it's something different, and it's always a pain in the to find out." So for the PS4 brothers and sisters out there, if you're having this problem with your map being covered by the television, a fix is coming soon. But in the meantime, you can adjust the overscan on your TV in order to fix the problem. So the next section I'm about to go to is about pets. This next question, I found it funny. You know how you see the doggo chilling over near the gunsmith, and I know you guys probably went to go chill with the dog or pet him in between hunts, and that's probably got you thinking about the goats and the rams. You know, they're the ones you seen around Ramsgate. Well, it has like a boss thinking too. He asks, "Will we be able to pet the goats ever?" Phoenix Katie, the art director, responded, "Working on taming them. They still nip your fingers." I think this is a funny response, and I think they actually may be working on allowing us to pet the goat boys sometime in the future. So, all my pet fans out there, may be coming soon. So, now moving away from the lighthearted comments into the more serious topics, like the question Tragic Sims asked. He asked, "Could there be a chance we get pets?" Crash 7800 responded, "Yeah, what about those good little creature boys?" Can't wait for the creatures to come, man. The non-aggressive and aggressive creatures. I can't wait for that to come. But that's a later on topic. Phoenix Zalgas responded to Tragic Sims comment by saying this: "We've thought a lot about this, but don't have a course of action quite chosen yet. There's a wide range of little mini pets that are fun cosmetic buddies to unlock. Little dudes that go gather stuff while you're fighting, all the way to allies that help you in combat. We might start with the first and work towards the last, but maybe a combat ally makes sense as a weapon class. Definitely curious what the players will want here. Let us know." Okay, this is a great response to a great question. If you guys don't recall or haven't seen my last few videos, I talked about ways to improve Dauntless, and one of the topics I brought out was pets slash mounts. I called them mounts in a video, but this was a topic that I was really passionate about. I am really passionate about, and this is something I think will really help the game overall because it will add another layer to the grind. Like Monster Hunter like games and Dauntless itself is a game of grinding, but at the same time it's also a game of aesthetics and strategy. So it's a whole lot to think about. And just like Luigi Savior states, they could possibly make something similar to Paligos from Monster Hunter. Hmm. Palicos, they were a fun aspect in Monster Hunter. You get to equip them with armor and stuff. They help you in battle. They heal you. They give you buffs. They do all sorts of things. Even help you gather. So I think it will be a great feature to come to Dauntless. But keep in mind, one of the biggest things I noticed from this post is one of the last statements. It says, "But maybe a combat ally makes sense as a whole weapon class." Boy, could this mean they're thinking about making a weapon that's accompanied with a pet, like the insect glaive in Monster Hunter? Like, boy, I could see myself fighting a behemoth with a pet.
Go.
I think this is something really big and is a feature that may be coming way down the line at Dauntless, but I can't wait for it to get here. And let's not skip over what Phoenix Zalga said, the design director said. We're definitely curious what the player will want here, so let us know. So if you guys have any ideas about what type of pets you want, what you want to see come to Dauntless, drop a comment down below, or better yet, go over to the subreddit and let them know what the ideas are that you want to come to Dauntless. And this is a point I'm trying to push in this video and multiple videos that I've been putting out. I'm trying to get started discussion. I'm trying to get you guys to talk to the devs in the subreddit or even in my comments section so I can make a video and let everybody know what you guys are thinking. Because this game isn't solely here just for the developers. It's here for us, the players. It's here to serve the players. So they need our feedback to let them know what we want from the game. But remember, guys, the devs are people too. So if you go to comment on things that you want to come in the game, be respectful and try not to be that guy that just repeats in the section, "Oh, but can you fix the servers?" Those are some things that will be fixed later on down the line. That's for a fact is always going to be something they're focusing on and something that will be maintained and upgraded over time. That's for a fact because you can't run a game with terrible servers, and I'm pretty sure Phoenix Labs don't plan on doing that. So remember, be respectful and put your comments out there. Don't be afraid to write on the subreddit. So now we're gonna move on to the social category of things. So you guys asked the devs about a few social questions. And the first question up is by Zena Zai. They asked, will we ever be able to change the colors of the extra parts on certain armor? For example, the spikes on Cool Shot armor. Phoenix Katie replied, we're currently working on a big rework of the dye system to allow Slayers to customize much more of their gear than they could previously. So yes, this was a beautiful question and it was a great answer because this is something I've been constantly thinking about because I can notice the fixed colors, especially when I put on a Drask armor set and I throw the new Shinobi outfit from the new Elite Pass on my character. You can see the little corners, they may stay red, and when I change the colors, everything else will be the color I changed it to, but the corners will never change. And it seems like that permanent area is associated with the color of the colors that cannot be changed on the armor set you equipped. So if you have a red section of the armor set that cannot be changed and you put the Shinobi armor set on, it may stick and change to that color and you won't be able to change it. And honestly, I'm glad they're working on it and it seems like it may be coming pretty soon. Maybe before the next Trials update and maybe during the next Trials update. So let's keep an eye out for that, guys. Now, if you guys are in a guild and you're thinking about social activities or worried about social activities, Raruggy asks a multitude of questions. First, he asks, have you guys considered reintroducing multi-behemoth hunts? Perhaps guild raids with 6 or more people against 2 or more behemoths. It seems like a nice idea to have, giving guilds more purpose outside of just being a group to be in. This is a great question, and I don't remember Dauntless ever having multi behemoth hunts. It may have been in the closed beta, but I don't think we ever had multi behemoth hunts. But it will be great to have. Regarding the question with 6 or more people against 2 or more behemoths, I'm gonna leave that question for later on because there's a big section on weapons, behemoths, and environmental things I'm gonna go over that covers that topic. Now, moving on to the second question: are you guys considering adding punishments for people who leave mid hut? It's quite annoying to see people do nothing but stand around and sometimes get to the point where they just join and load in solely to leave you with a behemoth that has health stacked for 4 players. Honestly, I've noticed this. It gets annoying. Like you notice when people don't want to fight certain behemoths, so they'll load in slow or take their time, and then when they get into the mission, they just leave. So if and you're in a mission with a stacked quill shot, and you have what you have four people enter the mission and then two leave, then you're gonna have two times the problem to deal with because of the health is just so much. This honestly is a great question because I think there should be some sort of penalty for players who leave or AFK during the hunts because no one wants a leech and no one wants someone that half commits to the hunt. You don't want someone to load into the hunt and then after you get into the battle and they don't see the battle going well, leave. That's that shouldn't be a thing. Now moving on to the next question. This question is for the hunters who want to relax and chill after a hunt. Aristesis asks, oh my god, I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, I'm trying. But Arithesis asks, when will we visit the bar? Crash 7800 responds, when you're 21, stop right there, criminal scum. Reflex responds, I'm 20, but it's legal here, sips beer. I found this really funny, but at the same time, I think this is a valid point. It could be something like Monster Hunter where you sit down at the table and spam a button to drink until you can't. And then when you get up, you stumble around and things like that. People laugh and it's like a whole social aspect to it. And then maybe you'll be able to arm wrestle in a barrel like Monster Hunter. I know, Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter. Keep saying Monster Hunter. It's the closest game to compare it to. But like Monster Hunter, you could arm wrestle on a barrel, and whoever loses, if you're drunk, you fall over, and if you're sober, you just lose, and they cheer or something. It'll be a nice appeal for the social players out there inside of Dauntless. So, I think it's a great idea. Now it's time to move on to the big question of the section, asked by Mauve TXL. Why don't you guys make a game mode that have an open world and behemoths all around the place? Wouldn't that be so much fun? Phoenix Zalgas responds, I love for us to develop a way to just go to the island and hang out there for a bit with your friends. You could gather, bait out behemoths, just mess around and leave when you're done. A little bit more of a free form experience. Not sure when we'll tackle it, but I think there's a lot of potential there. This is great to see the devs responding to a question like this because this is one of those topics people think about and I think about because of Monster Hunter World, the expedition feature, where you go into an expedition indefinitely with friends and hunt for hours on end. And it seems like the devs have this in mind too. Honestly, this could be a feature that could radicalize the whole game base, just based on how it's implemented. If they implement it in a right way, then this go 100% be known as the great dollar value of $0 Monster Hunter because it's a free game. It's a free game with Monster Hunter features. You go into a hunt with your friends and just chill there hunting behemoths for hours. That's honestly, that sounds beautiful. That sounds like a Monster Hunter type experience right there. And the thing is, expedition feature itself is new to Monster Hunter. I remember in Monster Hunter 1, 2, Freedom, Freedom 1, 2. I'm not even, oh my god. I remember in those where you didn't have this expedition. You had to, every hunt, you had to go in and do a mission. It had to be a mission for each hunt, and you had 50 minutes for each hunt. But, man, it's a whole new aspect, and I think it's a great thing. So if they add this, I think this could radicalize the game. And like Phoenix Zalga said, I think there's a lot of potential there, and there is. There's a great amount of potential in that expedition feature itself. Oof. If you guys are still in this video listening to me, drop a like because I've been rambling on for like a good minute now, and this script is about 13 pages, and I've been going off script multiple times, and I'm pretty sure you guys can tell. So this is going to be a long one, and we have 3 more sections to go over. We have the weapons, we have the environmentals, and we have the behemoths. Weapons and behemoths. Okay, you guys, I can't even let you. So much to come. Let's continue. Okay, let's go into what weapons will be coming in the future of Dauntless. Okay, let me take a deep breath because this is one of those topics that I gotta chill down. I gotta calm, chill, be chill, and just clear my mind for a minute because I was hella hyped when I saw this. As a martial arts fiend, I am in love with this idea that's about to be presented to you guys. Like let me just show you it. Let me show you it. This question was asked by Falanor. Fist weapons. Win. Phoenix Zalgus responds, yes. Crash 7800 responds, this is now a Soikoden 2 thread. Boy, let me have a moment of silence.
Why are we still here? What is that? Just to suffer. Oh shit, what is every that? Night. I can feel my
Okay, boy, I am a martial arts fiend. I love anything martial arts. You will catch me watching Baki, all these martial arts anime. Yo, boy, this is something that moved me just by one of the developers saying yes. This, oh, man, I could picture myself in the living room doing push-ups.
9,998, 9,999, 10,000.
Preparing for this update when they announce it, preparing for this weapon when they announce it. Like, I think this should really be a thing, and I'm happy that I heard someone say yes, and it may be a thing. I don't know when it will be released. I don't know what aspects of the weapon, how the weapon will be designed, but I cannot wait for it to drop because bless martial arts. Yeah, baba, yai. You know that. Oh man, I gotta stop. All right. Let me continue on to the next comment because if I don't, I will be rambling on about fist weapons, martial arts, and all this extra stuff. All right. The next question was asked by Kai the Kid. He asks, "Is there any hope for a block slash parry button?" Phoenix Zalgus responds, "We're experimenting in this round now, but we've built the ability to swap weapon specials. We're prototyping a sword counter style special right now." Ooh, this is great to hear that. This is great to hear that they're working on a new skill system that just came in the second to last update, the update before the console release. So, it's great to see this is being improved on, and they might be possibly giving us countering and blocking. And I could see this being an extremely useful ability and being very crucial for heavy weapons, especially like the axe and the hammer, because boy, they're slow. But of course, you could use things to increase their speed, but they're just base slow. Okay, the next question is more of a quality of life question, but year 1998 asks, loadout saves win. Kraken at Phoenix Labs responds, we're working on it. Everybody out there that's looking to save your loadout and be able to switch to between loadouts easily without having to re-equip the whole armor set or re-equip all the cells, it's coming, guys. And it seems like it'll maybe in a new update alongside the trials. So now on to the next question. This is something I think I thought deeply about, especially when I was using the God's Hand or the Molten Edric, and after the melee update came out. Like, this is a great question. Wargolf asks, are you going to buff exotics? Phoenix Zalgus responds, I think Molten Edric and the God Hand get a little love in the next patch. There are definitely some large improvements to be made to certain exotics, e.g. Prismatic Grace, Tragic Echo. However, they're not all quite hitting the mark yet. Beautiful to hear that the Molten Edric and the God Hand will be feeling a little bit of that update love in the next patch. And they plan on working on the Prismatic Grace and the Tragic Echo later on. And continuing on the topic of exotics, Kilikana asks, will we be getting the axe and chain blade exotics? I think this is a good question because I know we currently have exotics for most of the base weapons, like the hammer, the sword, and the pike, but we are missing the axe and the dual blade, and I expect a repeater exotic to come later on down the line after those two are released. So, well, if you guys have any ideas for what exotic should come out or what type of chain blade exotic should come out, drop a comment down below, or better yet, again, head over to the subreddit, guys. How many times do I have to say this? Go over to the subreddit and let them know what you want. Come on, guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, now for the last topic and one of the most important topics of the weapons section. And maybe, depending on your viewpoint, one of the most important sections of the whole video. And this is pertaining to weapons. Exile Reptile asked, ooh, bars. But what new weapon types do you guys have planned in the future? Okay, this is gonna be a long one. Phoenix Zalgas respond, we love to introduce purely ranged weapons. The demand is high for bows. Hell yeah, because I've seen so many comments in the AMA about bows. But we have work to do first on Behemoth AI, aggro, awareness, range attacks, etc. We do not want people to do DPS to Behemoths from afar without interacting with the fight. We really desire those. Our very next weapon won't be one. Hopefully we'll get there soon though. I love to introduce weapons that fundamentally deliver really different players' fantasies. I love players to feel the range type thematics slash mechanics slightly closer to the range you see in an MMO class landscape. If that makes sense, we're taking some steps there now with our next weapon. It's great to hear that they plan on making purely ranged weapons down the line and that they're working on buffing the AI and the aggro and awareness of the behemoths rather than working backwards and making the weapon just to push it out with for new content and then focus on the AI after the weapons release. This great. It's great to see that the steps they're taking to implement these things will be in the next weapon. So that next weapon is gonna have mechanics we've never seen before. Guys, boy. Also is not stated in this question, but in one of the comments I've read in the AMA, they said the next weapon will be a melee. No, the next weapon will be another mid-range slash close range weapon. So for you guys out there, wait, let me think. Gauntlets? But no, I'm doing too much. I'm doing too much. The gauntlets on the mind, man. Once I saw that. Okay, we're moving on to the environmental section of things. The first question is by Faladon. He asked, is there planned in-game lore to be added to the setting? Crash 7800 responded, we're working on baking more lore for those who are hungry for the word. Honestly, lore is something I didn't expect to really come up in the questions in the AMA, but it's great to see that people are interested in the lore of the island. Like sometimes I find myself running around the islands while I'm looking for behemoths, and I see these giant spikes stuck in the ground, and I'm just thinking like, where did these come from? I don't know. This is something that comes to my mind. But I'm equally impressed someone asked a question about narrative. Another person actually asked a question about narrative. His name is Rumik, and he asks, any plans for more narrative content like open cinematic? Phoenix Katie responded, everyone at the studio loves working on narrative content. We have no firm plans for new cinematic in the future, but we love to be able to tell more stories about the Shattered Isles and explore different ways that we could deliver that. So it seems like cinematics aren't planned at the moment, but they're planning on delivering that story in a different way down the line. So for all you lore nuts out there and narrative fans, may be coming down the line and you may be getting a different experience than what you wanted, but still coming. So keep an eye out. Now let's push to the most important question of this section by Dauntless. He asks, any plans for more fleshed out islands? Maybe multiple bosses or perhaps a behemoth that is actually two or three? Hmm, a behemoth that's actually two or three behemoths. I think that could add interesting element to the fight to split the player's focus. Phoenix Zalgas responded, we would love to flesh out islands more. From hazards to discoverables to aggressive mobs, the first thing that we're working on are aggressive and non-aggressive mob creatures. You should expect to see them first as a part of the upcoming Trials mode. Ooh, like I said, hinting at Trials again. Boy, I love the idea of islands with hazards and discoverables and aggressive mobs beside the behemoths on the islands. Like, this is another great thing to hear that non-aggressive slash aggressive creatures will be the next focus, and honestly is something that's really needed to add to the atmosphere of the game. Because, like I mentioned in my past videos, they need more creatures in that atmosphere of the island. So they need more life, and it's great to see that they're working on that. So let's move on to another question asked by user 291. They asked, Any chance of adding traps to slow down, contain, and mobilize the faster behemoths for a small amount of time? Phoenix Zalgus responds again. My boy is the most MVP of this AMA right now. I'm sorry, like every response, Phoenix Zalgus. But Phoenix Zalgus responds, totally. There's tons of ways I could think we could expand on the consumable system. It's a pretty blue sky design space that we just haven't had the time to come back and revisit yet. But sure to write up some of your ideas and share them over on the Dauntless subreddit so we see them. Guys, I'm coming at this again. I'm coming at the topic again. What I said. Get your questions out there. If you want them to hear what you got to say, go over to the subreddit or drop it down in a comment below so I could make a video on it, guys. Like, I'm telling you, we need things, and they want to hear what you need, guys. Drop a comment. But it's great that they're open to adding more consumables to assist us with hunts. Like I said, those ideas, throw them over in the subreddit, so throw it down in the comments. Alright, let's move on to the last section. Boy, this video is long. This video is long, guys, but if you're still with me, I think you're at this point where you gotta hit that subscribe button, my guy. Because this video. Alright, guys, let's get into the next question. The next question was asked by Guts Champs. He asked, will there ever be a hunt that involves more than 4 slayers? Phoenix Zalgus responds, I won't lie and say that I haven't fantasized about the 16-player raid equivalent of Dauntless Behemoths, but it certainly would be a massive development undertaking, and we haven't poked that Hydra just yet. Poke that Hydra. Let me not go there yet. Personally, I would think it would be great to see a hunt with more than 4 players having to coordinate themselves in order to defeat a boss, but sadly, this really isn't being tackled at the moment, and they sort of haven't poked that Hydra. Hint, hint. Could be looking too deep into things, but yeah, they haven't poked that Hydra yet. But let's move on to the next question asked by Fairy Teal. He asks, will we ever get an in-game bestiary which denotes what materials drop from each behemoth? Will we ever have a way to check our current material inventory, such as a satchel or a chest in Ramsgate? Kraken at Phoenix Labs responds with great questions. Hell yeah, he's right. These are great questions. Great questions. We are looking at different ways to fold in potential drop part lists for behemoths. We are close to some things, but nothing is there quite yet. Okay. I think the bestiary that Fairy Tail mentions will be a great way to present behemoths, and not only behemoths, but drops themselves. This is because in that book, if we have all the behemoths, then the behemoth parts, they could find a way to show the player how many of those parts that they already have. So it could serve as a inventory slash bestiary. Hearsay asks, so I'm interested in the content that caters to veterans. People that have been playing the game for a while, are comfortable with everything the game has to offer, and want a challenge. I also know you guys have a new hunt mode called Trials, as seen in your roadmap here. Drop the link. That roadmap, go check out the roadmap, guys. So I'm wondering if we get a little bit more insight on Trials, and also if it's only an alternative game mode that you guys put out. Kraken at Phoenix Labs responds with, well, it's one thing we're working on right now, but we'll learn what players like and don't like in trials before deciding on any future modes. Ultimately, we want to stay in tune with what will make players most excited and engaged. I'm actually super excited about the new mode, so I wouldn't want to spoil the reveal. So guys, like I've been saying, this new game mode sounds like something good is about to drop. Something good with a lot of content. I think a lot of the color changes, the loadout variability, all of these new update features. I think most of them will be released when the new Trials mode comes out. Now let's move on to the Behemoth section of this video. This question is about concept art and it's asked by the astronomer. He asks, any new Behemoth concept art? Phoenix Katie responds, yes, but we can't show it quite yet. We're excited for the new one though. It's in the early stages, but the team is cooking up something unlike anything we have right now. I can't wait for whatever they have in store to drop because it sounds like the Behemoth will come with all new mechanics and look vastly different from what we faced before. And it's great to hear that they're trying new mechanics because in some games, the developers like to stick to one thing, one mechanic, and do it over and over and over again. But it's great to see that this game is trying to push their behemoths and make their behemoths different. So each behemoth is a different experience. And a little side note, I found that little comment at the bottom. Please, not Boris 2.0 funny, because I'm not I'm not a big fan of Boris. Like I said in one of my last videos, I'm not a fan of Boris because of his immunity phase. His immunity phase, it breaks the whole flow of battle for me, and it feels it's just annoying. But I've learned to counteract that by using a different weapon. When I go against Boris now, I use the pike, and the pike seems like is my pike at least seems like it's able to kill him a lot quicker, is able to kill his minions a lot quicker and hit more than one minion at once. So I'm able to stack up charges quicker and it moves the fight along faster. But at the same time, every time that invulnerability phase hits me, it's like shit, here we go again. Like it hits, it hits. It's I'm not gonna continue, but it's one of those things that I'm not that much of a fan for. Now, guys, it's finally time for the last question of the video, but it's one of the most important questions of this section. Let me take a deep breath before I read this. It's two paragraphs going on right here, but Lupax97 asks, a lot of behemoths seem heavily inspired by real life animals. Nasher, a beaver, Skarn, a turtle. Are there any particular animals you as developers would like to turn into a behemoth? Also, just a request slash suggestion for the game. I think it would be really fun to have smaller enemies to fight just as extras, either sprawled around on the island or even as a separate type of mission. Just a suggestion so people can practice their weapons with a bit more flexibility. Love the game so much though. I've been following it since the first teaser and I was excited to hear it was coming to PS4. Thank you guys for an amazing game. That's a great question. Great comment right there. Phoenix Katie responds, good question. Yes. Like I said, great question. These honestly these are great questions you guys are asking over on the subreddit. It's beautiful to see that people are actually thinking about the game and have great questions for the developers. So here we go. Phoenix Katie responds, good question. Yes, there are a whole bunch of things we want to explore, both fantasy and real world animals. I just love dragons. Dragons? Hmm. So adding something like that to our roster will be a dream. I also like octopi. What would an octopus behemoth look like? The team has so many fun ideas that it can be hard to choose what to do. We totally agree with you about the little minions. We're actually working on some now that you'll get to see first in the trials mode. Trials, guys, trials. Thanks for the support. We really appreciate it. Guys, I love this question and I love the answer even more. Honestly, I can't really imagine how a dragon will look in Dauntless because of his graphic style. I never seen a dragon in with this type of graphic style. Like it's something new. And an octopus behemoth? I cannot imagine an octopus behemoth. If we have an octopus behemoth, that behemoth will have to be able to grab the players and throw them around everywhere. That behemoth will have to spit out ink somewhere. Yo, man, to see a behemoth grab three hunters and then one of the hunters have to hit the arms to set them free. That would be beautiful. That would be something really, really new. And oh my god, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. But I can't wait to see what they do and if they do release that. Okay, guys, since that was the last question, let me say this once again and stress it even more. Guys, if you know what you want from Dauntless, and if you have great ideas, and if you just have any ideas that you want the developers to include, drop a comment down below or go right over to the subreddit, and start a post section, leave a comment, do any one of those things that'll let the developers know what you guys want. All right, for all the guys that stuck through to the end, yo, thank you. This is a long video, but it's to make up for not making videos for a week. This is mainly because of my work schedule. Like I said in the beginning, I was busy, I had things I had to do, and all this life situation. But if you guys liked the video, drop a like down below. And if you want to see more future content from me about Dauntless, drop hit that bell notification and subscribe right over there, because more videos will be coming. And boy, I'm excited for the Trials update. I can't wait to see what they drop. I can't wait to see what Behemoth comes out. I can't wait to see what new weapons come out. I can't wait to see the non-aggressive creatures and aggressive creatures. I can't wait to see all that stuff that may be coming in the Trials update, and that'll come after too. So, like I said, if you like what you heard and you like what you saw, hit that sub button, and I catch you guys later. TJ out.
It's great, but I'm dead.